Hey guys, and welcome to Dedicated Art. It is our first video of 2019. It's the new year, and what better way to start it off than with a little thing that dropped a little while back, but we haven't gotten around to actually reacting to it until now, and that is, of course, the Vader fan film. Who am I? I'm just a simple little guy by the name of Chris Doman, and I'm here with a couple friends of mine, that being Case Cornelesa and Nico Rigoli. Gentlemen, are we excited to watch this?
Chris, before we continue, you make it appear that we haven't tried to react to this already, and the file got corrupted.
Sure. Okay.
Gotta be honest. Look, we tried to shoot a reaction to this already, and we actually, I liked it, and I was excited for it. So I'm excited to react to it again because it's been a while. But yeah. I'm excited for it. Let's see.
Absolutely. Nico, you ready to fake it again?
Yeah, so thank you, Mr. Cornelesa, for that peek behind the curtain. So we already saw it once before, and we kind of we were just taking it in as we saw it through sheer shock and awe. This time it's going to be like a little bit more of like we're going to look at it as if we're researching an animal documentary, just watching things in their natural habitat. This is an analogy that is going nowhere. It's midnight here, so I'm tired. I'm hungry, and yeah, I'm not thinking clearly. I just watched about every single episode of Fuller House within the past 4 days, so let's just get to this and enjoy this once again.
I don't envy you on that. And yes, one of the things that I did talk about when we tried doing this the first time was, and I'll do a brief version of what that conversation was, where Case is arguably the more knowledgeable of Star Wars canon. But I will forever argue that I might be the slightly nerdier Star Wars fan because I have been a fan of fan films for well over a decade. I have appreciated all types of parodies and tributes and people creating their own stories within this wonderful universe, and that's what we have here today. The YouTube channel Star Wars Theory, who I've been a fan of for quite a long time now, is given a crack at a live-action Star Wars fan film. This is just part one of a multiple-part series, and because we're all Star Wars fans, yes, we're going to react to each part as it comes out, because, Case, refresh me, how high on your favorite characters list is Vader?
1. My absolute favorite.
Yeah, he's my number 2. So, yeah, this is something pretty important to both of us. And Nico, again, as a huge Star Wars fan yourself, I know that you said you love it when you see other people take a crack at telling stories in this great galaxy. Am I right?
Yes. Like I have a friend who created a fan film of his own. I believe it's called The Choice, and I think it came out recently in its final edition. Other examples of fan films that you might not have thought were actually fan films, but like the Family Guy Star Wars trilogy, that could be considered fan films in their own right. Granted, it's parody, but still
great.
And then you have the Robot Chicken episodes. You have the Muppet Babies episode. Which by the way, that one is so underrated. But let's stop talking. Let's start watching. Yeah. Let's start reacting. We're going to click play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Uh-oh, mine's still loading. Damn it.
Oh, no.
Here, just refreshed it.
10, 11, 12, 13.
Here, I'll just fast forward 15, to that.
16.
I'm at 16.
17.
Perfect.
All right.
Skywalker.
This is the solo type crawl.
Which, hey, I'm down for.
It's cool. It's different.
It kind of reminds me of Clone Wars, also.
To an extent, but you don't hear Wolf Yularen's voice in the background or anything like that.
Bob Kane.
I love Tom Kane.
Or Tom Kane, that was on.
I I will not be denied. Open fire!
You know, it just occurred to me that the stormtroopers are actually close to hitting something for once.
Now, I do have to say, I'm very happy that this is so close to Revenge of the Sith as far as where to set Vader.
You will answer for your treachery.
Yeah, this does seem to be in line with canon, as in
What was in the comics and whatnot.
what was in the comics. Yeah.
I wonder how fresh that lightsaber was created in terms of this canon.
A few months.
Actually, he started construction on the lightsaber right after he got into the suit.
But he still needed to find a crystal to bleed.
Yeah, he did. It took him a little while.
Shades of his grandson.
There is no escape.
Yeah, just times a million.
Oof.
I would have probably ran out the door the moment he stopped all those things.
Alright, he was choking the Emperor.
Seat. Answer for your failure to save her. I destroyed your enemies, forged for you an empire. Yet, like the Jedi, you have left me a mere shadow of what I was promised. You have taken everything.
Everything. Foolish boy. You grieve for the dead wife of an insolent Jedi. Your precious Padme's fate was your choice. Just as your fate is mine.
You know, I just noticed the actor's getting the hands like perfectly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This horror reminds me a lot of Rogue One.
I can only imagine what was going through the mind of that Imperial Guard. If he was still breathing at all.
He wasn't. He was dead.
Luckily.
Electroshock brings you back.
I know what was going through his mind. Current.
Ha!
To embrace the path set before you.
I keep wanting to call the guy who's doing the Emperor Kruger.
It's kind of appropriate that in a room full of lightning, there are a bunch of dead shock troopers around.
Sean Maroney!
Guys, how many more electrical current type jokes can we make throughout this reaction?
I don't know, Case. We can talk about your past job.
Shocking.
Okay,
Oh.
now...
Do you feel that spark of love?
Yes, but I'm very happy that the reveal is what it is.
Good fortune.
It's beautiful.
Because this scene would have made no
This
sense.
to remember you by. My caring for you will always remain.
Am I the only one who thinks this is better acting than the actual prequel?
Padme.
Sorry.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
Misa won't poke that can of worms.
And that
Is why you'll never defeat me. As long as you let your feelings anchor you, forever shall you remain weaker than I. Always the servant. Always the slave, young Skywalker.
Anakin! Anakin! Anakin!
It's fairly close now, Portland.
Lord Vader, you have an urgent. My lord,
Proceed.
the Emperor demands your presence at once. Lord Vader?
As he wishes.
Now that shot is awesome. That's straight awesome.
A little gross too.
This is really good.
I'm actually referring strictly to the eye change. That's
Oh yeah.
gods.
No, but what's also really good is that shot without the second half of his legs and arms.
Yeah.
That's the shot I was referring to that was kind of gross.
Gross, but it's awesome.
It is.
Distressed, my friend.
I am fine, my master.
Are you now? Your anger radiates like a whirlwind, yet unfocused. No, not unfocused. Hidden. You are trying to hide your rage from me. Why? Ah, I see. Then what is your hesitation, Lord Vader? Give in to your anger. Strike me down.
I have no such wish, master.
Pathetic.
Should do.
A mighty Sith Lord crippled by melancholy and indecision. All due to the attachments of a Jedi.
There is no attachment. Anakin Skywalker was weak. I destroyed him.
Did you? Yet Skywalker's powers dwarf yours, did they not?
Yes.
No.
Revenge is not the Jedi way.
Right,
No
Lord.
Jedi.
So much better dialogue than the stuff George Lucas wrote for me.
Yes.
To eliminate our rivals, is it not? Who stands in your way, Lord Vader? Who holds you back? Keeps you subjected and decrepit within that armor? Anyone?
Obi-Wan.
So, only your hate will eradicate.
I kind of want to see Palpatine coach a sports team just to see how they would react to this kind of pep talk.
I cannot, my master.
That is why my disappointment with you grows by the second. Embrace the choices that have brought you here. Revel in them, or forever live in the shadow.
failed me for the last time, quarterback. Can you imagine?
I have a task for you, apprentice. There's a great disturbance in the Force. A powerful Jedi survives in the
Your action is off the rails.
He must pay the price for his betrayal.
Now witness the firepower of this fully armed and operational shotgun play. Complete with a fake out.
Guys, I think we should watch the thing.
How is that possible?
Power. That's how.
Unlimited?
You and I both know this particular Jedi wields a great deal.
I will finish what we started, master.
Will you? I wonder.
Yes, Kylo.
Eliminate this Jedi. Pledge yourself to the dark side fully, Lord Vader. Relish in the gifts it bestows upon you. Only then will you be able to cast off the chains that bind you and achieve a power as never before. Only
Break
then
your chains.
will you be able to
Sith code.
destroy the rival before you.
Then I will not fail, Master.
Oh, right.
Now, this scene got me very happy because I predicted that there was going to be his Jedi Starfighter with the black paint.
I seem to be afflicted by a sudden tinge of nostalgia to visit my beloved Naboo.
So do most Star Wars fans.
Hey, I love Naboo. It's honestly in my top 10 favorite planets.
Same here, same here. The joke was there. It did not land, but it was there.
Like, there were words you said formed into a sentence.
Stay with the ship.
Welcome, Lord Vader. The Jedi has barricaded himself in the catacombs.
We've been expecting you.
But now all the troopers we've sent in.
Come on!
Lost troopers do not concern me, Commander. I want that Jedi. I will use the 501st.
When in canon did they start shifting out the clones for volunteer recruits?
Pretty much instantly after the Empire was created. However, that process took years.
Okay, so we're still gonna see and hear a lot of clones.
Yes.
Yeah. The thing just is, the clones age twice as fast, so at one point they just become too old.
Oh, so that's why Rex looks super old in Rebels.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay. So that's part one, and you know something? I actually have a little bit more appreciation for this the second time around, because a dirty little confession here. When we first watched this, I gave a little too much criticism to the voice actors of Palpatine and Vader, and it was unjustly said. I didn't need to say that, and I'm glad that we actually have a second chance for me to correctly say what I mean to say, where, they captured the spirit of those characters, even if it wasn't the exact inflection. So,
Nah, it's a fan film. Like the first time when we saw this, I was actually kind of I complimented the guy who voiced Palpatine. I think he did a pretty good job. Vader is a little bit further from the actual voice, but it's still pretty good. And you have to remember, these are just fans making their film. They are not paid. They're just a couple of guys who are trying to do their best impression, trying to do their best to just make the voices and the characters. Now, yeah, I was also kind of critical on the writing of the dialogue. I think some of the dialogue is not entirely what it should be. Sometimes I was a little like, I don't think the Emperor or Vader or whatever would say such a thing. But I do think overall, as you say, they capture the characters. They do it well. They clearly have a passion for Star Wars. They do know these characters. And I think overall it's a good fan film. Also really good visual effects, good use of the score sometimes. And yeah, it shows more of Vader, of like how conflicted he is, and this is something that I'm reading this in the comics. This is actually very similar to the canon comics, so that's good. It's probably trying to be in line with that. So if you don't read the comics yet, because that's actual canon, do check it out because it's pretty good. But yeah, I do think it's good that they also make these fan films for the people who like fan films and don't read comics.
But just a quick side note: stay out of the comment section of this one. Like this is a really good video, but stay out of the comment section. It's
Star Wars fans are the worst.
Yeah, but Nico, what are your thoughts on this time? Let's go around.
So yeah, going back to that unseen first reaction we did, I was kind of taking it more seriously then, and I was maybe a little bit more critical then 2 because like I was just adjusting to everything I had been seeing for the first time. Like I was getting used to the Palpatine actor's voice portrayal, and now I have a greater appreciation for it this second time around. I was a little iffy on the dialogue simply because it didn't feel like Star Wars the first time, but now I'm kind of like, you know what, this dialogue I can work with because it sounds more fleshed out. That's one of George Lucas's handicaps, was writing good dialogue. Like, and like, thankfully Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher were on set for the original trilogy to tell him like, no actual person would say these words.
I remember old Harrison Ford at Celebration
George,
recreating.
You can type this shit, but you can't say it.
Yes, absolutely. But this second time around watching it, I just went full on Mystery Science Theater 3000. Like we were making jokes left and right. A lot of them sucked because my comedic timing works. But we had fun. We had fun, and we hope you had fun too watching this either with or without our commentary. And we look forward to episode 2 because I want to see how they portray the return of Mace Windu, because like that's been one of those rumors for the longest time. Like, did Mace Windu actually survive that fall?
No, he did not.
Now, okay, officially speaking, I support the answer of no, but with the correct explanation, I can buy the fact that he could have survived. There's a lot of deaths in fiction that you can find ways around technically, but because
this would be very similar to Maul.
Yes.
But here's the thing about Mace Windu. He was basically like the number 2 Jedi at the Temple. Like, if anyone is powerful enough to survive that kind of fall, I feel like he would be the one.
Simply only in terms of pure power, I think. Not necessarily in knowledge, but Mace Windu was the second most powerful besides Yoda.
Yes.
But still, power can help you survive. So, like, if his connection to the Force was that powerful, then it is believable to me that he could have survived that fall.
And again, it will all just come down to the explanation. As long as these guys who I know how to dive into Star Wars, know how to tell great what if stories, that's why I'm excited to see how they explain this. Because seriously, go back and watch any of their other fan fictions. The level of detail that they get into when exploring the concept of a what if in Star Wars, they spare no thought. They make sure they research the hell out of what they're trying to talk about, and they will make sure that everything they say makes absolute sense. So, I have hope, but there is a possibility to be let down, and I'm accepting that fact, but I also have hope. So, I think we'll close up shop here, and we'll do final thoughts and plugs. So, Nico, final thoughts and the please short version of the plugs.
Final thoughts. I liked it both times, and I'm excited to see episode 2. And you can find me right here, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Nico Swagger Regoli, NICOSUAVEREGOLI. You can find me over on Film Nerd TV with Combat Zone Wrestling Trivia and the Week of Wrestling podcast. And you can find me on Multiplex Entertainment. That's the name of the Facebook group, and the YouTube channel. The Twitter is at MultiplexYT. The Instagram is Multiplex Entertainment Network. The TeePublic is just Multiplex Buy Our Awesome Shirts. The John Regoli Memorial Trivia-thon for Thon. Trivia matches all over the community from January 21st to January 27th. Donate to the 4 Diamonds Pediatric Cancer Research Fund through the link in the descriptions of every video below. Share those videos and get more eyes on so we can help cure cancer together. And see you in Brooklyn for the Schmodown Live.
Awesome.
Oh, you just had to.
He just had to. That's okay.
Yeah, I did. I did.
I'll forgive him. It's late, so he has to rub a little salt in the wound. So that's fine. Case, where can the good folks find you online, and what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts. Yeah, it is a good fan film. There are a couple of things like, as I said, the dialogue I'm not 100% on board with. but I am very interested to see what they do next. And as you guys say, yeah, I'm just curious how they'll bring back Windu, but I've never been a fan of him surviving past Revenge of the Sith personally. So yeah, I'm excited for what they have in store for us. Other than that, you can follow me on Twitter at Dutch Movie Guy, on Facebook at Kees Cornelius. Check out our live show that we do every Friday, Star Wars Resistance recap every Monday. It's coming back very soon, and with, of course, these two guys. Of course, it's Star Wars. What do you expect? And when the Schmodown comes back in a few weeks, we'll also react to that. So check it out.
Absolutely. And you guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Stardust, at Skywalker Doman. My final thoughts are, I like this. I like this a lot, and I appreciate the hard work and effort that went into it. Sure, could I nitpick the hell out of this? Yeah, but what's the point of that? Because this isn't one of the films. This isn't one of the shows. This is something that a bunch of fans who are passionate about this franchise gave their time, their money, and hours of work and devoted all into just this single project that is going to expand and it's going to keep going. I want to see it keep going. I want to see it get better, but I also do have some expectations of it getting stronger per episode because, hell, I've seen some of the best fan films of all time are Star Wars. Darth Maul Apprentice. That is a piece of art. That's not just a fan film. That film is a goddamn piece of art. Just for you, Case.
Thank you.
Yeah. But again, if these guys truly have that passion, they'll bring it. So I'm excited. You guys can follow this very channel on Twitter and Instagram at D2A channel. Please like our Facebook page, and you can find me hosting our weekly live show, the Who Cares Anyway podcast. We are back live tonight. We are talking Keanu Reeves films, as well as what we got going on for the rest of the month, and it's going to be a fun time. I'm a little anxious. I'm a little nervous. It's going to be a hell of a time, though, and I look forward to seeing you all there. So, from everyone here at Dedicated to Art, for Nico Rigoli, for Case Cornelius, I'm Chris Doman. Take care!
May the Force be with you.
Always.
Yeah!